What it is, ADD family. Oh, everybody now, it's ADD is me. So it's cold out. So I forgot all about this story, and I figured it would be a good one to put out there. So I had these neighbors, right? And the neighbor was this guy, Bone Man. He had previously been a friend, turned enemy, a guy I worked with. So there was a house for rent next door to Bone Man. So he told me about it. And he knew I was looking to get out of my place. I was behind on rent. And so I moved into this house next to Bone Man. This is the house I go to jail from. So much further before this, when I first moved in this house, I moved my stuff in before I moved in. Before I even moved in, I bring, like a dumbass, I bring my china. I had all this fine china I bring over there that I had in a in a china cabinet, lit up. It was real nice and pretty. So they stole a whole box of all my most valuables before I moved in. Asked him about it. He denied it. They were thieves. I wouldn't have thought he would have done me like that, but he did. So he stole from me right off the rip. Stole a whole box of crystals, expensive ones. I had gotten them as wedding presents. Me and my wife used to collect them, and it was my thing, right? It's what I liked. Had saved and collected crystals and stole it. So I had a bad taste in my mouth from day one. So we were back and forth fighting all the time. Me and him got into a fight on a job one time, and he was a lot taller than me, but we got to fighting and we got to wrestle, and I out-wrestled him and I pinned him. And so I let him know, that I could handle him. He was much taller than me, but he was skinny, and I could take him. So we had a bad taste in our mouth about each other. And so they broke in again, and either him or his kids stole some more shit, so I had some real bad taste in my mouth. Well, we were in this place for, I don't know, a year or two, and things progressively got worse. And it got to a point where we were accused of breaking into his house and stealing his wife's hydrocodone, okay? We were accused of this. So police came, filled out a report. They came twice. There was a detective who was calling me constantly on the phone. They were doing all they could to try and arrest me and my wife. They knew for sure that it was us and stole drugs. It's a heavy charge, heavy case. So, like I said, police is involved. They were involved on a few occasions. And so we never got in trouble for that. They got mad and had young kids over their house. They had this one friend, this little fat kid, this young fat kid, and Bone Man had a bunch of dogs. And when I mean a bunch, I mean a bunch. Bone Man, him and his wife were dirty and nasty. This house was the most disgusting shit I'd ever seen. You'd see cockroaches crawling across the TV in broad daylight, right? Food, drinks, wrappers, everywhere. Just a pigsty, just nasty, the nastiest you could think of. Their house was. Like I said, stuffed out, food out all the time, roaches everywhere, roaches crawling, him knocking roaches off the TV during broad day. So they were not nasty people. He had a litter of pit bulls, and he had a bunch of pups, and he had a whole litter of pit bulls, and he raised them. The house that I lived in, the previous owners had pit bulls and used to fight pit bulls. There was, like, right on the back of my house was like an array of different fences and cages. to separate animals and dogs. And on the siding on the whole back of the house was blood red from where dogs literally fought to the death. They had pit bull fights over in my house before I moved in. This was the type of people Bowman and obviously the people that lived there prior were like. So with all these dogs over there, his buddy fat kid got shovels full of shit, dog poop, and slung it all across the side of my house now, right? I literally got poop pegged across a whole side of the house, all across the siding. Literally looked like he went over there with a shovel and got 10 plus piles of dog poop and slung it across my house. Was at the same exact time with the police. So we called the police because they had already called the police on us. We had police over there. We were making out investigations, and so they were retaliating with throwing shit on our house. So it got ugly, and it got uglier and uglier, and then eventually I finally went to jail. But that was the story of coming home from work one day, and they're literally, the whole side of my house was pegged with dog shit. Had to literally get out there with a hose and wash it off the side of my house. It was probably a good thing that I went to jail when I did, because we would have wind up killing each other. Seriously, literally. Somebody would have done something stupid, me or Bowman. He had a lot of guns and knives at the time. He was the kind of guy that was prescribed Xanax. I really do believe he would shoot somebody before they let him make a bitch out of him or make him look bad. I do believe he would have shot me if I'd have beat his ass. He wasn't right in the head. He just always doing all this dumb, stupid shit to the extreme. He didn't work like an average man did. His wife would bring in money doing this and that. And Bowman just didn't give an F about nothing. Like I said, I wouldn't have put it past him if he'd have shot me. Like I said, we got in a fight on the job one day, and I out-wrestled him. And after he stole the stuff, then more stuff got stolen, and we retaliated, and we were accused of breaking into his house and stealing his wife's pills. I didn't say that I did it. I said we were accused of it. So we dealt with police on many, many occasions. Today, this morning, after I did the video about the python, my wife sent me a video on pythons, and I thought she knew the story of bringing a python in your house. One of the things you can do with the Illuminati. She didn't know that. You could have seen on the video. I show the conversation where he talk about bringing a python into the house. She never saw or read any of that. I thought she did. She just coincidentally sent me an entire thing on pythons. I thought it was odd and strange enough, right? This morning, after we did this video on that, I get to a job and there's a baby snake in the driveway. I meant to do a small video on it and just show the snake. I thought it had I thought it was, that maybe it represented something, because I'm obviously into signs and God and wonders and miracles. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Give me the middle finger. Tell me if I'm doing a decent job or not. Tell me if there's more things that you think that I could touch on. You think you have any ideas? Please feel free. I just recently saw a video and I talked about it. And the guy talks about people with talents and whatever. The people that are closest around them can help them. You guys can help me. You can see things that I can't see. You see and know what I do and deal with. You people that are here and in my life, you can help. You can tell me things that I'm sure would help me. You're all here for a reason as well. So, leave your comment. Leave anything that you think could help. Things that I've overlooked and I could touch on. Points I could make and point out. And we'll go from there. Thank you for taking your time. Thank you for coming here.